I know exactly what you're thinking. Boo! You stink! But I'm actually being deadly serious when I say this. The Boruto anime is better than the manga. About a year ago, I made a video detailing that the Boruto series ain't really that bad, but since then, quite a bit has changed. The Boruto anime has gone absolutely ham in tying in any loose ends that the manga left behind, and in some cases, loose ends some fans may not have even thought about. Also, it should go without saying that this video is not me hating on the manga, not by any stretch of the imagination. I look forward to the manga every single month, and without fail, each time it's always absolutely fire. However, some things may not always make sense in the manga, and not in a bad way, it's just that some things maybe lack a little bit of context. And if, when reading, you've ever felt that way, then the likelihood is that the anime has an answer for it. Listen, the anime is far from perfect, and there are definitely some very bad, low moments. But, and this is probably the best way I can describe it, the anime perfectly complements the manga. So far, 3 arcs have currently been adapted, or at least in the process of being adapted, as right now they're introducing Kawaki, which is, as we know, a major turning point in the series. And each of these arcs are made infinitely better in the anime. They go above and beyond in terms of translating what happens in the manga into the anime. And to help explain what I mean, today I want to run through some moments from the manga which are made so much better in the anime and make for a much more enjoyable and complete version of the story. Starting with the characters. Some characters from the Boruto manga are, well, they might as well not be there. And there's 3 in particular who always jump to mind: Victor, Mugino, and Sumire. In the manga, these 3 are more or less worthless. Victor is just killed instantly without really offering anything. Mugino is also killed instantly, this time actually offering nothing. And then Sumire has, well, been a bit more prevalent in the story at the minute. First being introduced as a love interest, and since chilling with Amado and all the rest while the fight with Ishiki goes on. Listen, it's a massive stretch saying that she's been more prevalent, okay? She's had a handful of lines at best, okay? It's hardly been Shakespeare. In the anime though, all 3 are so much better. Victor is actually given a motive. He is a survivor of war and uses his immense wealth to help research prosthetics for people affected by war. And it's also alluded to that he's only actually a part of Kara due to his wealth, as it helps fund them. Deeper, an extra anime exclusive Kara member even teases that the main Kara inners don't even trust Victor anyway, which explains why Kashin Koji killed Victor in the manga a bit more, and also explains why nobody even cared that an inner of Kara never showed up again in the manga, because his death was originally orchestrated by Jigen, the leader, in the first place anyway. And the reason for his death was because he was suspected of trying to kidnap Kawaki, which he was. Which is why Kawaki was even in the airship in the first place in the manga. Something that never quite made sense to me during my read through the manga was that there was this airship. Where did it come from? Why did it exist? Well, the anime gave us that answer and many more. It all traced back to a seemingly pointless manga character. Mugino, on the other hand, is one of Konohamaru's greatest friends, and the anime does a quite brilliant job at making the fans actually care about his character, unlike in the manga where he is given the most basic ass design going and died without doing anything. Whereas the anime took us on a journey with his character and made us appreciate who he was. He was a good old classic shinobi who was sent on a 3-year mission to dispel any ongoing conflicts happening in far-off regions post the 4th Great Ninja War. Which explains why we never got to see someone who was supposed to be a massive friend of Konohamaru's before. On top of all of that, he was actually given a backstory, and a good one at that, one reminiscent of the Naruto days. He was an orphaned refugee from the Land of Fire who was manipulated into trying to assassinate the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen, the grandfather of his future best friend. Ultimately, however, Hiruzen saved Mugino and invited him to come to Konoha. Mugino later then arrived at the village, but sadly Hiruzen had already passed, meaning he never got to see his hero again since that day. Sumire, on the other hand, is arguably the best of the 3. She's actually alive still for a start, which means her character has even more room to grow, but regardless, even now she is one of the most developed characters in the entire series. Originally a villain at the beginning of the Boruto anime, the class rep is actually the daughter of a crazed follower of Danzo's and was subsequently turned into a weapon from a young age to avenge Root, which was Danzo's division of the Anbu. She has her own pet, a monster called Nue, created by Root with the use of Hashirama's cells with the goal in mind of becoming the ultimate weapon. After coming to her senses with the aid of Boruto, she later decides to turn her attention to science and ways to use science to strengthen her bond with Nue and help control that power to use it for good rather than evil. All in all, do you see what I mean with the characters? Even the most mundane and seemingly pointless characters actually have a role to play in the story, yet you wouldn't know it without the anime. But, and probably the best example as to why the anime is a much more complete version of the story, lies within the most recent chapter of the manga. Code has become the main antagonist now in the Boruto manga, yet up to this point he, well, has done nothing. Are you starting to see the trend here? Code, who had almost zero build-up, has replaced the villain the manga had been building up for a number of years, and even revealed he was a devoted lover of the Otsutsuki and dreamt of being the vessel over Kawaki. Guess what? The anime is already teasing that in the equivalent of the OW arc. So what would be the equivalent of around 30 chapters ago? Which in a monthly series is a lot. The anime has even started teasing the traitor plot too, with all these extra additional scenes exclusive to the anime versions of the manga arcs, where we have Delta suspecting Code being the one responsible for the airship crash due to his jealousy over Kawaki. And with the anime's track record of expanding on these kinds of situations, it means when the anime does in fact eventually reach this point of the story that the manga is currently in, the transition from Ishiki to Code will be a lot more palatable and smoother due to the immense layers of foreshadowing put in place beforehand. A department in which the manga severely lacks. So, in conclusion, the manga is not bad. It's not. It just lacks a few things which hold it back, in my opinion, from being great at times. There's a lot of times where you have to fill in the blanks yourself to find the answer you're looking for. Whereas the anime explains all of it and more. It really is the most complete version of the story. Imagine that the manga is the skeleton and the anime is everything else around it. Now, yes, the anime is not perfect. It's really not. It's not until the past year and a half where the anime has really elevated itself to that next level. Only now has all those years of build-up started paying off. That being said, if you really are a big fan of the Boruto manga and you wish you had more, I promise you the anime is actually worth your time. There's this misconception that it's all filler, filler, filler. A lot of the stuff that seemed like filler at the time, at the beginning, has since been made clear to actually be more intrinsically tied in with the main plot than you probably originally thought. Listen, anyway, I know this take's going to be controversial, so I'm probably going to shut up now. I'm going to say it for the last time before people leave a comment. To be fair, the people hating on this video or on me, they wouldn't have gone this far in the video anyway, so I'm wasting my breath. But I don't hate the manga, okay? I love the manga so much. I probably look forward to it more than any Boruto episode every single month. That being said, I must admit that I think the anime does the manga better. Listen, just get in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let's try and be peaceful about this one, guys, okay? Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And I'll be seeing you all in another video very, very soon. But until then, as always, peace.